All right, guys. Well, let's get started. For everybody joining us here, we'll probably end up with about 200 people on the webinar portion of this. Let us know what city and state you're from, and then we'll get going. Most of the people here will be from Paul's region. Paul is Southern California Central Coast. He owns 3 regions there. So I think we've got like 8,000 agents altogether, right, Paul? About?
Yeah, and we've had great turnout from the regions, but we're delighted to have outside speakers, and we've been really highlighting this particular series with outside speakers because we get a chance to talk to. Listen, they get a chance to talk to me all the time, and so we've had Atlanta, Georgia represented, and Boise, Idaho, and now Philadelphia. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, dude. So thank you for being here, and Paul, this has been fun, man. So let's keep it going, right?
Right on. I've gotten the feedback that I've gotten both locally and then also nationally has been phenomenal.
Yeah, it's been good. Now, hopefully Zoom helps us out here and has better streaming. But Mike, let's get right into it, man. You and I started early because I had some questions for you. And I want you to start off by helping us understand your background so people know how long you've been in the business and how many ups and downs you've been through as an agent.
Okay, so I am Mike McCann, the real estate man. I am in downtown Philadelphia, which is Center City of Philadelphia. It's an urban environment, but it's like the 3rd or 4th biggest residents that live in a downtown environment. So I'm by birthplace of America, Liberty Bell, Independence Hall. So it's a historic city. So I sell in an urban environment. I've been doing it since June of '86. I have been the top realtor in Philadelphia every year since 1988. When I joined Prudential in about '92 from being a small brokerage, and then I realized I competed on like national levels. And then since probably '01 or '02, I was the top agent in Berkshire Hathaway, which was Prudential at the time. I came to Keller Williams about 1.5 years ago. And the reason I have to say this because I was 27 years with one company, top agent in the country, loved the people, loved everything, top agent in the city, not even by a little bit, but by far. But we had a great team. My team has been with me more than half of them, 10 to 20 years. Like I built for life. So I built this team where, and I could have a lot more people, but where it's like a family, but we all have fun and we and do very, very well. But after the downturn in '08, and I've been through, this is my 5th downturn. And I'm going to jump back and shut me up if I'm rambling too long. But my first downturn happened when I got in '86, the market was booming. Because 79 to 84 interest rates were 18, 21%. So about 85 interest rates dropped down to 14%, 12%. So the market started to boom. A couple of my friends started investing in real estate. They said, come on, Mike, buy real estate. I said, I was a waiter. I said, I can't buy real estate. But then take the course. I took the course and I realized I love this. I did sell vacuums door to door for 3.5 years from 79 to 82 when I was 19 to 22. So that's where I got my never give up. The harder you work, the luckier you get. Can't means won't drive. So when I got in real estate, it was booming. By 89, 90, the market collapsed. It got so bad that about 30% of all realtors left the business. Every major firm in downtown Philadelphia left. The Caldwell Bankers, the Weikerts, the Century 21s, they closed up. Everybody closed up. It got so bad they started the RTC, Resolution Trust Corporation, to handle all the bank foreclosures and house foreclosures. And from 1990 to 95, homes were down 30, 40, 50. California, they were down. I mean, everywhere they were down. Unbelievable. It was what I call a real estate depression. So what I learned early on was I saw all these people growing and all these big shots doing well. And then when the market came, they lost everything. So that stayed with me. I just kept plugging away in 1990, 91, 92, 93. And then when the market rose, I just shot to the top because I was investing in myself. I was not giving up. I was still going out there. I was still making a living. And then 96, 97, it took me to another level. And then we had then we started to boom and I started to grow and I hired a couple assistants. I was the first one to do assistants. And then the market dropped in the dot-com boom and it was like 2000. And all of a sudden the stock market collapsed. That's the end of real estate. And we had a shake up. It was 6-9 months, maybe a year. And then we went back and then 9/11 came and that was horrible. And everybody, like today, major fear. It was crazy and the market collapsed. That lasted about a year. And then the market came back. But every downturn, what I did was I just kept plugging away and did extra. I always educated myself. Now education's so much easier with blogs and Zooms and all the people out there. But back then, you had to get books. You didn't have the internet as much. And but I always educated myself and I invested in myself. Then in the '08 downturn, so then we boomed and then '08 came and everybody collapsed and a lot of people left the business again. But by that point, I was just increasing my business by investing in the things that worked, increasing my education, and giving confidence to my team that I have your money in the bank. You're not going anywhere. So long story short is I've been doing it almost 34 years. This is my 5th downturn. This downturn, just like every other downturn, will change the industry. There's no more going back to normal. However, there's going to be things that make this so much better. We're going to learn so much, those that survive. The shiny objects are going to disappear. The weak agents are going to disappear, but the successful people are going to be needed more than ever. So that's my message. I guess I rambled around, but I've been doing this 34 years through 5 downturns. My business every year, except for probably 3 or 4 years, I did better than the year before. There's some years where I went down, like '09, I went a little bit down, and then I started to come back up. And most years, this year I was shooting for, I've been consistently between 600 and 750 transactions a year since about 2001. This year, my goal was to hit 1,000. Now McKellar, we want to hit 1,000. And we did 90 deals in February. We were going to do it. I might not hit 1,000 this year, but I am going to, I think what we're losing, we're not going to recover one, but we're going to continue to grow as we come out of this. People will need us more. So it's a transition. I don't think anybody's going to do as well. Our companies aren't, no one's going to do it, but we're still going to do better. We're not laid off. We're the controllers of our own destiny. Nobody laid me off. No one's going to stop my income from coming in. If I don't make as much as I had planned, so what? I will grow. And guess what? A year or 2 from now, that will be back and it will be higher. You mark my words, 2 years from now, I will be over 1,000 transactions because that's when
I know you will.
No, you mark my words. I promise
Hey,
you. So I'm rambling. Yeah.
Mike, you said, it's tremendous value in the things that you said. I really appreciate it. And there was one point when I was writing, you were talking fast and I was right. I was trying to take notes because you were saying quotable, amazing things. And I want to revisit that just for a minute. Okay. I'm going to tell you what you said and you can kind of fill in the blanks for me. Okay. You said, this will change the industry. Things will change forever. Shiny objects will disappear. And then that's where my hands quit going as fast as you were going. You said, but there'll always be need for, my version of it is there'll always be need for people that are providing a great service or something like that. But tell me, get right into that spot for me. It's
in good times. Everybody wants to get in the real estate business, whether it's agents or companies. And it's easy. It's easy. You just show up and you get the deal and it goes through. And in tough times, and I've seen it over my 34 years, all these people that were going to be disruptors leave the business. All these agents that just showed up have to leave the business because they can't make a living. Believe me, in 1990, my wife tells me I shouldn't talk about this because so many people weren't even born then, but I have to talk about it because it was impacted in my life. In 1990 through 95, 96, you didn't even want to be the second agent. You wanted to be the third agent. We had market times, a year and a half, 2 years on the market. But what I learned early was to be to go in, to be brutally honest, to tell them what needs to be done to get that home sold today. And that's how I went to the next level. So because I was more educated, I said, listen, we got to pull these carpets up and paint this house. We got to have it at this price. You know, yes, I understand you're going to lose $300,000. That's horrible, but you're living in California now. You're going to just leave it empty, or we could rent it. And people that rented it, though, early on, their values went down. So I was educating my people. I became a very important resource in their life. That's what people will need today. Their questions, they're feared, they're scared right now. We have to be the confidence builder. How are we confident? By knowing our business and being knowledgeable. Two, and not being scared to tell them what needs to be done. And I always say to my clients, and I'm out on the street, I'm not just a team leader. I mean, I personally list and sell 100 to 150 homes myself. So I'm on the front line. I'm not sitting looking at numbers and all that stuff. So when I go in, one of my lines, I say, listen, Bill and Mary, if you were my brother or my sister, this is what I would, well, I first say, whatever you want to do is fine with me. It just drops to it. And I look them right in the eyes. And now I've been doing it on Zoom. Bill and Mary, whatever you want to do is fine with me. But if you were my brother or my sister or my mom or my dad, depending on the age bracket or whatever, this is what I would do if you want to sell.
Yes.
And blah, 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 blah.
Scripts.
Yeah. And that's so important. We have to be confidence builder. Well, people will need us. Coming out of this, they need us. We have to be the confidence builder in the transaction. And, the Big Z or any of these Redfin, Zillows, or any of these companies, they don't have what we have. And these disruptors, I've been saying, people that are coming in buying agents and they will come and go. Let me just tell you, my fifth downturn, first time with Keller Williams, I've never seen leadership ever. Not just leadership from the top down to the agents, to the market. I've never seen the collaboration, the pulling it together, ever. There is not a better company. If there were, I would be there, or if there was a better one to start, I would start it. That's why I came to Keller. And I just have to back up on this real quick. I was the golden boy at Berkshire Hathaway, #1 in the country, loved everybody. But as I saw the 2008 downturn, when we started to come back, in 12, 13, I saw the disruption that Keller and their agents, a lot of agents were going there, a lot of people were growing. And I started to say to myself, you know what? I have all these, at that point I had 25 people. I said, I had 7 assistants and the rest were agents. I said, I have to do what's best for my team. When I was a kid, Sears and Roebuck was a #1 department store. Well, Sears and Roebuck recently filed bankruptcy because they didn't update. I saw the transition from after the downturn dramatically from the Keller model. If you want to have a business, there is no better company to go with. And I saw it changing, and I was denying it. And I used to say, they're drinking the Kool-Aid. It's a Ponzi scheme. I made fun. And as people were leaving, good friends of mine throughout the country that I met and I knew from all these conventions every year, because I went to multiple conventions. I saw them leaving and growing. I'm like, you trader. I'm like, but finally, 13, 14, I'm like, I got to do something. And then and then I started to tell agents, if I was a new agent, I'd probably go to Keller, man. They got that, they're really growing. And then in 18, I started to listen to Gary's blogs and I made the move. And that was dramatic for me because personally, for me, I could have just coasted off into the sunset. Financially, I'm fine, but I did what's best for the future of my team, my agents for the next 5, 10, 20, 30 years. I have a lot of agents in their 20s. I have agents in their 30s, agents in their 40s. I'm the oldest dude on my team. I'm 60. There's 4 or 5 of us in our 50 to 60, a lot in their 40s, a lot in their 30s. But when you're a parent, you do what's best for your children. Your life is no longer the most important thing. Mm-hmm. So me as a leader, I took that responsibility that I need to do what's best for the people that are with me and rely on me. And so I made that shift to Keller because I believe it's the future. And this downturn even reiterated it so much more. and we will come out of this stronger and better than ever. So anyway, I have to say that about Keller. I know this isn't just all about Keller, this group. It's just about struggling through downturns. But I have to say that you could not be with a better company. There's shiny objects that will come and go, and you're going to see them disappear. Some might disappear, some might not. But the support you get, the education, the training, the support is awesome.
Mike, I love what you said, man. There's a question from Rosie Riera. She says, what are the changes in the industry that you see will happen? Any examples that you can think of right now? Because you're mentioning changes, and that's why this company has shown that it's even better, right? What are those changes?
Well, there's a couple things. Again, I've been around a long time, so I was around before the internet. When the internet came on, everybody said, and that public was going to have access. The National Association of Realtors fought that. They said, no way, the customers, they won't need us anymore. They'll have all the information. Well, so everybody fought it. I was like, this is great. And I embraced it. And I helped the board actually get involved with the computerized system. What it did was it made our business so much easier. Instead of me having to show 30 homes, now I probably only showed 5 homes because the customer had that information and then came to us. So that was a big, big change. Today, I see the Zoom. Again, I've already captured, I was telling these guys earlier before everybody got on, I captured a listing yesterday on Zoom. I would have never have done that before. I'm a personal guy. I love people. I want to go out. I want to meet them. I want to bond with them. I want to have a relationship with them. I have got multiple listings on Zoom right now because we're not in Pennsylvania. We are not allowed out. We're not allowed out of the house. We can't meet a client. We can't send a photographer. We are shut down. I've captured about 7 listings on Zoom already that I would have never have done before. Mm-hmm. Now, when people are calling me, I'm like, hey, can we Zoom talk? And and I can Zoom, man. Everybody's like cracking up because, the old guy can Zoom now, so when I talk to people face to face, I am much more effective than a text, an email, or even a phone call. So Zoom is becoming part of my business. Zoom. So that's a big change that we're all using. Embrace it. So if somebody calls you, return the phone call, hey, you have a second for a Zoom, and then get with them. I always tell my agents, meet the buyer, get to the listing, because once you meet someone, there's a 95+% chance you're going to capture them. Zoom does that now, but I can be so much more efficient. So instead of me driving out, finding parking, going to their place, meeting them, talking to them, then driving back, I can do Zooms now. I'm still going to meet people, don't get me wrong. So Zoom is one really, really big thing that's going to change our industry. So you need to embrace it and set appointments up, and you're going to be much more efficient. That's what the internet did. It made us so much more efficient. Yes.
Mike, I'd like to add something in regards to what you're saying. And that's previously to COVID-19, we had Ryan Serhant on from $1 Million Listing New York. And he said something that now you look back and you're like, oh, that makes total sense. But now it's kind of what you're saying. And that's, he said, look, when I have a challenge with a client, when I just can't get through to them, or I know it's a very sensitive conversation that I'm going to have, I don't call them or text them. I pick up my phone and I FaceTime them. And he goes, Tristan, that makes such a big difference when I'm FaceTiming them. It's now I got through to them. Now they can see me. It's like we connect deeper. And I thought of that when you're saying Zoom, man, because, it's actually a better world that we're using this technology. It's going to make us better and connect deeper. So I agree 100% with you, man.
And it's real. It's real. When the Friday before the shutdown, I did my first Zoom listing in my office, and I have 7 assistants, and 4 of them were staying at home because they didn't feel comfortable, which was fine. But 3 of them heard me on my iPad talking to the customer like I was doing a listing. They're walking me through the house. I'm talking to them. I was on there about 1 hour and 15 minutes. We hung up. The guys are like, I'm not interviewing anybody else, but my team heard me, and I connected with them. Just like I'm connecting with you. Like, it's not high tech. It's high touch. I mean, I feel like I know you guys now. Like, just physically seeing you. there's really not that much difference than if you were sitting across my dining room table where I'm sitting right now. So that's so Zoom is the one thing. The one thing I like about it in trying times is, again, we have to be the professionals. So we have to be the people that are the confidence builders, and they need us more than ever. Their decisions are very important to them. How else is it going to change?
Well, think of this, Mike, because you and I talked before, and that was a good conversation that we were having. What are you personally doing right now to adapt to the world that we're in and prepare for what's coming? What are you personally doing with your team? Okay. So the first thing that I did, again, right before the shutdown, I knew it was going to really change when they shut down the NBA, and what was it, Tom Hanks and him got. I thought, that's it. This is a game changer, man. And then by that Saturday, we were quarantined. So that Friday, though, I just had my one assistant who was in do a little video that I sent out. I did actually two, one to my clients and one to my team, the team and company, KW Philly, our company. And I let them know that this is, that I'm not talking to you as Mike McCann, the real estate man. I'm talking to you as, we got to be safe. Things are going to change. We're going to be shut down. Health is number one, health and well-being. So we're going to be shut down. There's nothing that we can do. You got to stay healthy. Without health, you have no wealth. You have nothing. Also, to my clients, I said, we'll be shut down. I believe the market will come back. This is a temporary thing, whether it's 2 months or whether it's 4 or 6 months. Fundamentally, so I gave confidence, and this is to my sellers and buyers. Fundamentally, we had the lowest employment in 50 years. We had the lowest inventory in 20 years. Interest rates are the lowest in 30 years. So we're going to come back. This is a disruption, whether it's going to be 2 or 3 or 6 months, I don't know. And because people are, so I let them know that we will be back, but to stay healthy first. So I prioritize. And then the next following couple weeks, I've been reaching out. I've not been soliciting business. I have not said to people, give me your listing, give me, like, you know anybody wants to buy or something? I'm not doing that. Right now, is there anything I can do for you? Do you need any help? How's your family? So I'm just touching base. But we are retooling. So, you know, I love command.
The I care message, right?
The I care, it's the most important thing.
Right. And that's the message that I've been giving to our realtors in our region is send a certain number of I care messages out a day, personalize them. And I'm glad to hear, sorry, you're doing great, but I wanted to highlight that for everybody because staying in touch is key, and we're learning how Mike does it. So thanks, Mike.
Yeah. And it can't be these things that you got from somewhere else. It needs to be highly personalized. Mm-hmm. And honestly, last night I got done at 9 o'clock. I started at 8:15, got done. I have not stopped, but I've had some of the best conversations with people. And sometimes I might text them, hey, Bill, hey, Bill and Mary, how you doing? You know, just checking in. I'm doing this with my family. I'd love to talk to you. You don't have to call me back, but if you want to, I'd love to talk to you. I've had half-hour conversations with people I've known for years who refer me people who I haven't talked to, but who want to talk to me. So I'm leaving it on them if they want to talk further. Mm-hmm. But I've done it through video, email blast out to a small video, and it's all about caring. Residential real estate is a highly personal business. That's why I love it. We're not commercial real estate. So people have to like you, and they have to trust you, and they have to know you care. And then they will give you business. And so that's the message that I get out. People know that from me. That's my DNA, but now it's even more than ever. And then all the agents that are newer in the business that had some great years, 14, 15, 16, 17, they never saw this downturn. But anybody on my team knows you save first, because all my team is encouraged to buy real estate. All my team, I live well below my means. I have a great life, but you see agents become successful and they spend as much as they make. I invest in my business. I invest in people. No better investment than people. And that's why agents support staff 22 years, 19 years, 17 years, many agents 10 to 20 years. We have my team bought me this an album. They had an album framed, the Hotel California, and they all signed it because that song, "It's such a lovely place, but you can never leave." That's my team, man. But I care about my team first. I do what's best for them first.
Mike, can we touch on that really quick? Because I have a personal question here on that. When it comes to your team and you're telling them, hey, guys, this is how much you save. This is what you do with the funds. This is what's expected. Can you break that down for agents that are listening in so that they can do the same things? Or if they're running teams or brokerages, they can then deliver that message to their teams as well?
Yeah. Well, you do have to lead by example. So, as crazy as it is, no one loves real estate more than me. No one works more than me, even though people say to me, "Why do you work so much?" Hey, this is who I am. I love my clients. I love my team. I love my agents. I want them to grow. Being in the business a long time, one of the greatest rewards for me now is I love helping clients, how important I am in their life. That's great. I've helped many investors start from doing little rehabs to now they're big builders. I've helped many agents who came in hungry with nothing grow to be successful. Having a purpose in life is really important. And if you had told me when I had nothing, and I was not always the real estate man, I came from nothing. I didn't belong in the marketplace. It'd be like me going to Beverly Hills and California, trying to be an actor. Like, I'm not an actor. I didn't do it. But I went to this marketplace and I didn't know anybody. And then I grew into the business through relationships, educating myself, caring about people, and helping people. So I do lead by example. So when agents come on my team, it's very important, or agents I meet, it's very important. I need people that have a positive mental attitude, who want to work hard and grow. And I say work hard and smart, because you can't work just hard today. We're not digging holes. We have to be smart also. And so I try to be around people that want to succeed. Most of the people I recruit on my team are brand new agents or within 1 year in the business. I don't bring it. I have these $30, $50 million producers who want to join my team. Our team is the envy. Everybody wants to be on our team. I could have 100 if I wanted, but I don't. I support a lot of people and I help a lot of people. We do like 50 or 60 open houses a weekend. And most of the agents are not from my team. They're from within our company. I'm helping them out. Like, I love helping people grow. So the question was, so I tell them that they have to save at least 30 or 40% of every check to put it for taxes. People make a lot of money, they spend it, and they realize they're independent contractors that have to pay for taxes, and they have to invest in themselves. They have to take a couple courses a year to invest in themselves. And the goal is to save up money to buy real estate. In our marketplace, you can still buy investment real estate. And I tell people, we make a living selling real estate, and we can make a great living, but we build wealth owning real estate. And I go to my examples. I try to buy, my rule is, and I try to get my team to buy one property a year. Try to get 15-year mortgages. So in 15 years, my goal when I was young was, when I'm 50, I want to have 50 properties with no debt. And that was my goal. So, and that's just an important thing. I'm going to start rambling. So
I love that, man. So question from a newer agent, and this is from the audience here. Mike, what advice can you give new agents?
Right. So new agents, there's a lot of ways that you can separate yourself from people without a big budget. People say, "Oh, you can do it this and that." With social media, it's practically free. So what I would do if I were a new agent, I'd go into an office where there's people who I respect. I learned the business from outside of my marketplace. The company I worked for my first 6 years, I didn't know it. I was such a stunad That's stupid in Italian in Philly, just so you know. But I was such a student that I worked for a company that only managed real estate. They didn't sell real estate, but it was my friend's friend. So I had to get my education from watching people afar. But today I would go into a place where there's people who I respect. I would shadow them, whether they invite me or not. I'd see what they're doing. New agents, I tell, you have to sit open houses. Now you can't do them right now, but a new agent, I say, so you go to an agent, you say, hey, I want to work this area. I see you have a listing in there. Can I do an open house? So I carry about 200 listings. So I give out 60 or 70 a weekend. And I have one agent, he did $5 million his first year. He sat my open houses every Saturday and Sunday. He sat one on Saturday and two on Sunday consistently. And most agents will do them for a couple of weeks. They don't get any clients or any sales and they bail out. But what he did, just one more second. What he did was he would take my listing, he would post it on Instagram and on Facebook. As him, he could market it, that's fine. And he became that expert. And then when people came, he would get their emails, their social media. So each week he grew his list and he developed his whole following.
And one of the things that it really comes from one of the points that you made in giving the newer agents concrete steps to do. And that is times like this separate the people that are actually willing to make a difference from others. And even if you have a great realtor in your area that's number one and you're a new agent, you know, maybe that number one agent has not adapted as quickly to the times right now. So in order, again, going from what Mike said, being an expert in your area so that you can give valuable advice, so that people know you care, so that people know that you're available, getting a presence on Instagram, getting a presence on Facebook that is not about you. It's like, oh, hey, I'm Paul and I'm new at real estate and here's the 10 reasons you should love me. Terrible post, in my opinion. And Tristan's an expert, okay? So you go, hey, I'm in Santa Monica, California, and here are the 6 drugstores that are open, and here are the 14 where the line is too long, or whatever it is. Now I'm establishing myself as an area expert. As you get more back and forth from people, or you know, just when Mike was talking about real interest rates, okay, all I did was Google historically low interest rates. It gives you the year that they were at their highest, the year that they were at their lowest. How does this year compare? Now, suddenly, compared to the market, I sound like an expert, right? So when I'm posting that, I go, oh, and in this year it was this and that, you know, so that I'm really, maybe I post a graph. Now suddenly, hey, who is Paul Morris? Well, he's now delivering content. And then anytime you get any kind of a bite or question, you could say, hey, let's do a 15-minute Zoom and I'll find out more about you and your family and what are your needs and how I might assist you in times like this. That's sort of a concrete plan coming from what Mike is talking about. Do you agree with that or add to it?
No, absolutely. 110%. Just make sure you identify who you are. You know, like, you know, so a unique marketing position has been Mike McCann, the real estate man. So that's on, I'm talking about other things, but that's unique. People don't forget that. But I see a lot of people doing these posts, but it doesn't tell me that they're a Keller Williams agent and their contact info. So just make sure you have your contact info there. So that's free. Social, listen, when Facebook was coming out, and like in 08, 09, people were saying, you got to get on Facebook. And I'm like, not another thing. Oh my God, not another thing. And about 2010 and a half, I got on Facebook and my business went from, again, I was the top agent in the city, right? Everybody knew me, but social media, I was a ghost. All of a sudden I get on Facebook. Now people got to meet Mike McCann. And yes, I do some about real estate. Yes, I do some about me. Yes, I do some about things in the air. But I had one agent come up to me and said, Mike, I've known you 4 years. Man, now I really know who you are. Off of my Facebook post, because I am who I am. So that was really good. Instagram, a lot of the millennials, which is a big market, are more on Instagram than Facebook. I love Facebook because it just gives you more information. But I'm on Instagram too. People are doing LinkedIn. And so it changed. That absolutely changed my life, who I am. And if you don't like it, get some young person to do it. And it absolutely. So that's free. But one other thing before I jump on. In downtimes, how I got my business when I was with a no-name company, I went after expired listings, withdrawn and expired. So I already knew they had been in the market. I already knew what price they thought their property was worth. And that was where, because no one called, I was working for Stephen Glass Real Estate. Nobody even knew the name of the company. But I would show up and get that listing. And then I would hand out flyers. I mean, I would walk up and down streets handing out flyers that I ran off on the copier. And then I would do the open houses. And then when I sold it, I told the world. So you have to tell the world, again, there were periods of time in the real estate business where it was like, I'm number one. Like, that's not the message. Nobody cares you're number one. A lot of people say, oh, he's too busy for me, if that's not the message. But expired listings will be an incredible opportunity. And ones that just expired, but go back a year. People that were on the market a year ago, and you reach out once. Again, I'm not doing it this second. Once we can physically show properties, we're going to go to attacking expired and withdrawn listings, and we will capture it. There's plenty of business for everybody. Believe me. That's why I help people all the time. I've helped people grow teams that aren't on my team. I help people. I want professionals in this business. So, man, new people got it made. And your message is, listen, oh yeah, number one agent, he's great. Yeah, but I'm going to focus on you 110%. You're going to be my client. My goal is to have you tell everybody how good I did for you. So just give me this opportunity, and you have to believe it. And the other thing I try to do is I try to under promise and over deliver. So I don't give them these false things just to get things signed. That's the worst thing you can do. One happy person tells 5 people. One unhappy person tells 20 people. It's the dead truth. It's the dead truth. So, and it's so funny. One of my agents, I've been pushing all my agents, get those reviews on Zillow, get them on Google, on Facebook. One of my agents just got a great client that's coming in it was from California, actually. Said, I read all your reviews, blah, 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 and I went through everybody's, and I want to select you as my realtor. So he shared it with our team yesterday, and he's like, oh, see, this is what Mike's talking about. This is why you got to get reviews. So we're big on reviews. That's free too,
There's a lot of things that you just said right there.
Right.
And it's a great thing. I just want to recap it for the agents that are listening in, newer agents and ones that have been in the business for a while. And that was the first thing that you said was open houses, on how powerful it is. Some agents may be saying, well, I can't do that right now. And I'm just going to say, no, you can. You're just not thinking, right? You can do it on Facebook through events and Premiere. I put up a link right there so you guys can take a look at it. And one thing that comes to mind for us, Paul, and you know this because you know him, for our area, Mike, there's a guy named Santiago Arana, and he was with Keller. And the way that he got started was open houses. Mike, sure. Massive open houses, Mike. This guy would have an open house every weekend, 3, 4, 5 times a week sometimes. And he'd host multi-million-dollar properties as open houses. And from that, now he's like the number 4 or 5 agent in the world, single agent, right? Yeah. His volume is insane. We're talking about 400 to 500 million as a single agent, right? So what you're saying works in every market. Mm-hmm. And I think that was a beautiful thing. And now as we shift, people need to adapt, like you're saying, to social media and Zoom and these tools that are out there for us to have open houses. We're barely testing them out. Yes. Imagine if we're ahead.
And now's a great opportunity to set yourself apart. So, what Mike was talking about is almost everything that Mike said could be put in under the category of setting himself apart. Okay. Setting himself apart as a professional who cares more about the client's needs than he is about his particular needs in the moment. Setting himself apart in terms of, doing more open houses or each of these pieces. So the question that I have for the audience, and of course we're here to provide answers, but one of the ways just to think about it is, what can I do right now to set myself apart from the rest. And this is a unique opportunity because things are different. Okay. So to every agent, folks are asking questions. Ask yourself this question: what can you do in your neighborhood to set yourself apart right now in these times? And the answers will come to you. Mike can tell you the answer, Tristan and I can work towards telling you the answers, but these answers will come up with that question.
Just a couple things. So that gentleman who did that, I call it patient persistence overcomes resistance. So many people, yeah, Mike, I hear you, and they do it for a couple weeks. They don't have a sale. If you can consistently do that, whether it's 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, a year and a half, you will become the expert in that marketplace. And
Mike, can you repeat that, what you said? I was trying to write it down.
Sorry. I can start from the beginning. Sorry.
Patient persistence becomes resistance.
Patience, persistence overcomes resistance. So when I sold vacuum cleaners door to door, they were $640 vacuum cleaners. Interest rates were 21%. I carried a big vac and knocked on people's doors, and I offered them free rug shampoos. Now, my mentor at that time, James B. Marion III, taught me how to close. Those were high pressure closes. So, you want your wife living like this? Okay, just sign right here. Real estate is not high pressure close. So real estate is patient persistence overcome. So I just patiently gain their confidence and always do what's best for them. Advise them what's best for them, whether it's best for me or not. It's funny. In one downturn in 1990-91, I was telling a lot of people, yeah, the market's softened. Let's hold off. Let's wait till next year. Now, I thought I was doing what was best for them. That time, the market continued to drop for the next 4 more years. So then by 92, I was telling people, I said to wait, let's do it now, so you adjust. But as far as, if you're a new agent and you're not doing open houses, your store's closed. Who's going to just call you? So yeah, you can work your people, but that's only this big. If you're consistently doing open houses, creating a list, following up. Now, in this market right now, what we're going to do once we're let out, we're going to do virtual open houses, but we're going to be on standby. If you want to see this property, we're on standby for an appointment. So just say I can only show one person at a time.
I like that.
I'm sitting outside in my car. We're doing a virtual tour. A lead comes in. They're seeing on virtual tour.
Dude,
and they want to say,
you just gave me an idea. You know how well you've been in the business for a while. I came in where we were still getting phone calls off, and I had to look at the MLS sheet. Like that was the last year. But you just said, if I'm getting a call on somebody asking questions about the home, now I can just shift it over and be like, hey, Mike, listen, I've got a virtual tour. If you want to jump on the computer right now, I can go through it with you. Right. And that's
powerful? Is that powerful? That's unbelievable.
Insane, man. Thank you. I just wrote that down, by the way.
We help each other. And that's what we do. These things, me speaking here, helps me too. And that's the beauty about, you give more than you receive and think good things happen to you. But you can't give up in this business. And that's what my mentor, I would go back to it's funny. In real estate, I learned the business by myself, became the #1 agent but it was because I had this mentor who taught me how to sell vacuum cleaners in 1980 when the economy, 1979-80, when the economy was a nightmare. Every job, America was falling off the cliff. And I still made a living because I didn't want to be poor. But honestly, and then I had a guy named Alan Dom in our marketplace who in 1987 was a condo specialist. He was the #1 realtor in America in 1987. And he taught a class at Temple Real Estate Institute I took from him. But I would watch him. But I've not had a mentor in my career. I've read books but until I met Gary Keller. And I got to tell you, so much of his DNA is how I've run my team, although, I'm this big compared to him, but his vision, his ideas are just unbelievable, and how he's allowed that to parallel. I'm proud that I made a lot of people wealthy through investment, through building, through their homes. I mean, look what Gary's done. There's 160,000 people, and how many have been incredibly successful from him growing that. So we have he is an incredible mentor, and the people that he's brought on in the company has just been unbelievable. But you can't give up. And that's what James B. Marion said to me. He said, can't means won't. Oh, I can't do that. No, Mike, that means you won't do that. Mm-hmm. Oh, but Jim, I can't. Mike, that means you, like, he would just get out there,
I like that guy already, dude.
He was unbelievable. He was his parents escaped from the Holocaust, and he he couldn't get a job, and he was going to law school. So he started selling vacuums door to door, and he became a multimillionaire. So when I meet him, he's like my age, but he said, I have more energy in my little finger than these 28-year-olds have in their whole body. And he would pump us up. We'd go in at 8:30 in the morning and we'd sing Kirby's song. And then we'd get our vacuum at 9 o'clock and we'd go hit the streets, man. And the next morning, you had to go up in front of the board. McCann, how many appointments did you have? And he would chew you up if you didn't have them. If you had 3, then he'd cheer you up.
Dude, it reminds me of I'm envisioning Jack LaLanne for some reason.
Yeah. So it's funny, like today he'd probably get in trouble because, he wasn't it's a
different world.
Yeah. But he wanted you to do good and he wanted you to succeed. And but Gary, honestly, Gary and the people within the Keller have a lot of that. And the culture, and that's what he had, culture. We wanted to make him proud, and we got pumped up by him, and we went out. Never give up. The harder you work, the luckier you get. But today, harder, smarter you work. Can't means won't. If he can do it, I can do it, or you can do it. Like if she can do it, you can do it. Like why do I sell 600-800 homes a year consistently every year? And when I was a single agent, just 1988, I sold 90 homes myself without a support person. No in-house mortgage, no in-house title, no conveyancer. So, but if I can do it, why can't you? So that was the attitude that he taught me. If you believe you can achieve, like I always believed that I wouldn't remain poor, that I would be successful and happy. And I never let that goal go. And there were times in my life, 1979, 80, it looked like the end of the country. I'm telling you, none of us could get jobs. I found a job. I did it. My friends laughed at me. I'm 19 years old. I bailed on college. I had a scholarship, but I bailed on college, and because I wanted to work and make money because I didn't have any money. And they laughed at me. It was like the 3rd or 4th week. I made $700, and I won this jukebox, and that was it. They respected me the rest of my life because I think I made $35,000. I was 19 years old in '79.
That's insane.
No, it was insane. But I worked my butt off, but I loved what I did. So whatever I did, I was dishwasher going through high school. I was the best dishwasher. That guy kept promoting me. I became the prep man, short order cook. I loved what I did. So you have to, if you don't love real estate and you don't love people, honestly, you should be a support staff or you should not be in it. You have to embrace it and love it and become the most knowledgeable and have fun. I am the most serious guy in the world, but I have fun with people. When I walk into a room, or a settlement, the kids will be like, oh, Mike McCann, the real estate man. And I'm like, yeah, we have fun. And then I'm down to business. See, people have to, you have to love people and people have to love you back.
That's like Paul. Paul's the same way.
Really?
Yeah. He's really fun. And then, all right, Tristan, down to business. Oh, yeah. I love that.
Yeah.
Guys, well,
and Mike,
Paul?
But Mike, we're learning a lot from you, and some of it is what you're saying, and I'm also learning from watching you because one of the things that you didn't say, but I wrote down was just that passion. The passion wins. Passion and energy win, and you're bringing passion and energy to the conversations in a time when people need that. And another thing is, I aspire to be the light. I aspire to be the light, whatever times there are. And I can see you bringing light to everybody. But when times are dark is when the light shines the brightest. I might not be shining any brighter, but it looks brighter because we're staying active. We're staying in touch with people. And this is the opportunity for all of our agents to change things for themselves and get an edge. Now's the time to get an edge, because I'm going to tell you, there are phenomenal realtors, great realtors. There are heads of big teams that I know. There are heads of companies that I know. They're saying, you know, what I'm doing is I'm just packed away in my house, and I've got food and money, and, you know, and I'll see y'all when we get to the other side. And if you're still standing, we'll do some business. I mean, I watched a head of a company say something like that. I go, oh boy, you wouldn't want to be at that company. Now we're doing more Zoom calls. We're doing this. This caused us to innovate. Tristan and I have been talking for years. We've been friends for years. Tristan called and said, hey, let me run this thing with you for the regions. Let's do something. And I said, hey, what's in it for you? He goes, I don't know, nothing. You know, we'll see. But now's the time to seize it. We could have talked about it and talked about it. And then I got comments from our people, from our leadership just yesterday. Said, you know, the region's been doing more for us now than ever before. And is this going to continue afterwards? And I was thinking to myself, well, you know, the funny thing is maybe in week 1 or week 2, we might have done less than anybody else for our people. But as soon as we get with a program and run with it, it's separating us from everybody else. So now's a great time, if you're a realtor, to separate yourself from the pack. Let's assume that you're not number one in your marketplace, like Mike is, okay? One of the things I could do is I could go, well, who's number 1 in Santa Monica? Who's number 2 in Santa Monica? What are they doing right now? Because what I can do right now is I can outpace them by 5 to 1, okay? When things are good, okay, I can't outpace the number 1 realtor in Santa Monica 5 to 1. I can't do it, okay? Right now, I can do it. So these are unique times. We have to do things a little differently, but Mike showed us some great things. I really appreciate it. When things get better, I'll come out there to Mark Vetri, who's a friend of mine. He's a great Philly chef, and we'll have a meal.
Guys, I have to jump off. I put the link for Paul's YouTube. This is being recorded. We're going to upload it to that one, so subscribe to his. Mike,
I'll close another. Mike,
I have another webinar really quick, but you guys can keep on talking for a few minutes, guys.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Thanks, Tristan. Appreciate it very, very much, man. Have a great day.
Thanks.
And okay, take 2 more minutes and close it up, Paul. So to me, the beauty about real estate is I control my destiny. Yeah. Nobody can lay me off. No one can tell me how much money I can make. And you need to look at whether it's a top team, whether it's a top agent, whether it's a mid-level agent. You need to look at who you respect in the business and say, if they can do this, I can do this. And I always find the people that have it easy when the tough times come kind of lose it. So to me, like the more you invest into the bank, meaning like the more you struggle or the better the rewards are, and the more sustainable your business is. Some people click if they're newer in the business. It takes them 6 months or a year. Most people, I find, it's 2 to 3 years before they're really making big dollars and really controlling their own destiny. And then years 5 through 6, it's well, not even 5 through 6. I always tell people when they're getting in the business, you'll be lucky if you make anything your first 6 months. In the first year, you're lucky. So I kind of under-promise, and then I help them do a little bit better. In the second year, you'll be like, I didn't know anything the first year, but hey, this is pretty good. And I find the second to third people take off, and the third to fourth people really, where they make more money than doctors, lawyers. Like, nobody can control you. And there's plenty of business for everybody. And if anybody can do it, you can do it if you want to.
Yeah.
So that it's where's your desire and I do eat, breathe, and sleep real estate. However, my business has always been attraction. I've never been that person at a party just handing out my card. I keep me away from that type of person. Yeah. I've just been subtly where people come to me. And even when I wasn't number 1, there was ways that I found to do that. So you got to always let people know who you are. And it's the best business in the world, man. I control my own environment, so.
I love it. Well, thank you so much for your time today. And AJ, we'll shut this down. You can find AJ will post he'll post the YouTube link so that you can rewatch it, and also folks that missed it can get it. I really appreciate it, Mike. I will reach out to you separately, and we'll schedule a 15-minute Zoom. How's that?
Okay, awesome, Paul. Always smile too. First impressions are the best impressions. Always smile. Okay, have a great day, man. Appreciate it.
Thanks.
Okay, bye-bye.